We are all living in the hope that the terrible suffering brought about by COVID-19 will soon be behind us, and that we can begin to speculate about our future and the future of higher education. As we do so, we need to think about why students come to a university in the first place, and they do so for three reasons. One is the most obvious, and that is employment and career opportunities. But alongside that, there are two other important drivers. One is a sense of personal vocation, such as experienced by a laboratory scientist, or a dramatist, or a musician, for example, who wants to perfect their craft. And a third is the idea of social enrichment, students developing networks and friendships across a lifetime, and developing social skills and personal formation that go along with them. All three of these motivations are important, and the success of institutions in meeting these needs in the future will depend on their dynamic capabilities. By that, I mean their ability to both explore and develop new ways of meeting those needs, and also to exploit their current resources to deliver them the best as they can through the crisis. A good example of knowledge exploitation of this type is the rapid deployment of online learning to provide continuity through the current crisis. It's not just about the technology though. For example, at St Andrews, we've been encouraging excellence and innovation in education for many years. And innovation means taking chances on new ideas, and some experiments don't work. But many promising practices and potentially transformative approaches have been developed and shared. Experience of educational exploration allowed skilled and creative educators to adapt ideas to fit online learning, at least well enough to keep going when the crisis struck. Online education will continue to provide a level of robustness going forward, while the pattern of disruption is so uncertain. It is not, though, going to be a source of distinctiveness for any university in and of itself. It's clear that, more or less, every institution has been able to deliver programs online. That has strongly supported one of the three student motivations for employment and career ambitions. Now that is no bad thing, since it's the main focus for a large number of students and the main focus also for all state funders. But online education has generally been less successful so far in meeting the two other areas of student need. For students with a sense of vocation that involves, say, the performing arts or laboratory-based science, skilled practice is intrinsic to mastery. And over and above necessary practice experience, there's also something about being a practitioner that is associated with relationships in a community. For many individuals, that's lost through simulated remote methods. And indeed, many educators will tell you they feel the same. The third area of student need, social enrichment, has quite obviously suffered most of all through the current crisis and its necessary restrictions. It is dependent on the mise en scène of the educational environment, which of course includes the physical settings and all of the informal interactions that populate a relational context. It's difficult to imagine how this can be replicated online. In the immediate future, there'll be many students who, in the face of an economic downturn, which will be the worst of our lifetimes, will find themselves drawn to focus on employment-related outcomes. Research on previous downturns has shown that to be the case, especially for those taking master's level degrees. But we must not let higher education be hollowed out. The prospect of reducing university life to nothing but employability support, as important as that is, reminds me of some lines from Eliot. Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information? I think that in the future, students, aware that any and every university can provide online information, will look for something more. Universities which are able to recognise students' deeper vocational aspirations and meet up a pent-up desire for social enrichment will stand out. How to achieve that in new modes is not yet clear. But investing in exploration to develop a repertoire of new possibilities is a way forward. Indeed, it will be essential as unpredictable events continue to unfold. In the months and years to come, we can only harvest what we plant now.